This is the story about the mines and the town of Sumpter, Oregon. This old town is located in the Sumpter Valley and is not too far from Baker City. It was back in the mid-1860s that a group of men on their way to the California gold fields happened to find some gold along the banks of Cracker Creek. After prospecting around the area, the men decided to stay and mine this creek and soon built a few small log cabins. Mining at first was pretty low-key and not much really happened due to the fact that the area was really remote and rugged at the time. However, as word had gotten out about this discovery, more and more people started to move in. By the 1890s, the Sumpter Valley Railroad came to the area, and this allowed bigger equipment to be moved into the town, and that is when things really took off. In 1899, there was said to be just around 250 people, but within just 1 year the population had boomed to almost 4,000 residents, with over 100 businesses. There were over 20 hotels along with over 24 saloons, numerous boarding houses, a couple of banks, and a few assay offices. There were 4 sawmills and a brewery, a newspaper, a dance hall, plus over a dozen real estate offices. There was a school and a hospital and was one of the first towns in the state to have electricity with streetlights. The town also had a waterworks system with fire hydrants throughout the town. This was a town that if you couldn't make money mining, you could make it in real estate. Old articles tell of a man who took a town lot for $100 of bad debt. 2 years later, he sold that lot for $2,250. One gentleman by the name of Ed Geyser paid $200 for a town lot in 1897 and sold the same lot for $7,000 2 years later. By 1901, there is said to have been 6 different stage and freighting companies along with 7 daily stage lines. All these freight companies combined had over 200 horses, which carried passengers and freight to and from the mining camps. This freight tonnage varied from 3 million to as much as 6 million pounds of freight each month. At first, mining was all alluvial mining using sluice boxes and rockers. Once the easy pickings were gone, miners brought in monitors and started to hydraulic the creeks. The creeks that saw the most hydraulic mining were Olive Creek, Cracker Creek, and McCully Fork. Soon lode miners and cashed-up companies moved into the district and started shafting for the hard rock gold. There was some pretty big mines in this district. One of these companies was the Columbia Gold Mining Company. They owned and operated the Columbia Mine, which was one of the richest and most famous hard rock mines in the district. This mine had extensive underground shafts and tunnels. Another company was the North Pole Mining Company. They ran the North Pole Mine, which was another huge underground lode mine. At one point, it was considered one of the deepest and most profitable in the area. These mines pounded out over $2 million worth of gold each year at a time when gold was just $20 an ounce. By 1900, all the easy alluvial gold was gone, and it was at this time that the dredges came into play. The first dredge was constructed in 1899, and by the following year this dredge was working the gravels of Cracker Creek 24 hours a day. Within a few years there was a total of 3 dredges working in the camp. These dredges only shut down for Christmas Day and the 4th of July. The most famous of these dredges was the Sumpter Valley Dredge. This was the 3rd dredge, built around 1935, and is one that you can still visit today. This dredge worked until 1954, pulling millions of dollars worth of gold out of the ground. It is estimated that these dredges dug up somewhere between 500,000 and 600,000 ounces of gold. This was at a time when gold was between $20 and $35 an ounce. Remember when I said the town had a waterworks system with fire hydrants? Well, it gave the town sort of a false sense of security. In 1917, most of the town burned to the ground. The fire likely started in the Capitol Hotel and burned nearly 100 buildings. Most of the mines were running on lower production at the time, and this resulted in little interest in rebuilding. Many of the town's miners and full-time residents moved on to other districts. The railroad made its last run in 1947. The last of the gold dredges ceased operations in 1953. You can still go out to the town of Sumpter. There is said to be around 200 people who call this place home. Mining has given way to tourism. You can still go and see the old Sumpter Dredge, which is located at a state park devoted to the historic mining that took place in this old gold camp. Well, that about wraps up this week's video. I hope you enjoyed this short story about the mines and town of Sumpter, Oregon. Please like, share, and subscribe so we can continue to bring you more old, lost mine stories.